Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. In case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a nice full body flexibility practice, so find a little bit of space to move and let's get started. So let's begin today in child's pose. So you can come over onto your knees, bringing them out nice and wide. Your big toes can come together. You might take a seat back on your heels first and then start to lower your forehead, lower your chest as you reach your arms out in front. Maybe a gentle push of your palms or your fingertips into your mat to send your hips back towards your heels a little more. And then slowly melt it down. You can start to relax through your arms completely, softening through your shoulders. Take a big breath in and out. So allowing yourself to slow down your day and settle in. Let's take another deep breath in and out. And one more. Fill your body up with air. And let it go. You can start to lift up a little bit, looking towards your hands and walking them over towards the left side, creating some length through your right arm. You can drop your chest back down, even the forehead, feeling a stretch through your side body, through your shoulder, down to the fingertips, or up to the fingertips might be a better way to say that. Just taking one more breath in your side stretch. And then use an inhale to lift up just enough so that you can look to your hands again, walking them back to center and then over to the right side. Create a little extra length through that left arm this time. Melt your chest down, your forehead as low as they want to go. And just notice, do you feel a stretch to that left side body now? That shoulder, the arm, all the way up to the fingertips. Awesome work, you guys. Take an inhale as you lift up. Start to walk your hands back to the middle of your mat. You might keep your chest lifted a little higher. Just push into your palms. Try to send your hips back towards your heels a little bit more. Maybe they get there, no problem. Maybe there is some space between your hips and your heels. Just notice. And then start to lift all the way up and into tabletop. So you can move your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and maybe take a gentle rock side to side. And then we're going to be bringing our right foot forwards between our hands, setting up a lunge. You can roll your back, or you can roll your mat over so that your back knee has some extra cushion. But sink into the hips, find that left hip flexor. Soften your shoulders for a moment. Find your balance here in your lunge. And then we will be heel toeing that front foot over to the edge of the mat, over to the right side. Turn your toes out so your foot's on an angle. Let your knee tip out to the side for lizard, bringing your hands under your shoulders, sinking into the hips. You might push into the top of your back foot for a moment. Try to lift your knee for just a second and then bring it back down. See if you can keep the weight out of your knee. Nice work, you guys. Not staying too long in any one place today. Take another breath in your lizard. And then you can heel toe your foot back to the middle of your mat. Start to send your hips back for your half split. Maybe pointing your toes down towards your mat. Lengthening your front leg though. If you push the ball of your foot and your toes down, you might feel some love through your ankle, maybe even up into your shin. You can drop your chest as much as you need. If you're lucky, you'll also feel your hamstring. And then maybe you will keep your foot where it is, or if you start to point your toes up, you might feel your hamstring, your calf a whole lot more. Maybe even the back of your ankle. Awesome work, you guys. Let an inhale, bend your front knee again. Let's heel toe our foot to the left side this time. Lay your shin down, set up for your pigeon. You can scoot your foot close to your left hip if you'd like, so you feel centered. Push into your fingertips. Let an inhale lift up through the chest. Stay here, or if you want to tip forwards, you can tip forwards, maybe to the forearms. Maybe your forehead comes all the way down to your mat. Nice work, you guys. We're going to use an inhale to lift our chest up. And I want you to kind of roll to the right side. Roll to the right and then start to just pivot your legs a little bit. See if we can end up in half a straddle. So our left leg's out wide and we can move our right leg so that it's in a nice place, but our left leg is out wide. Finding that inner leg. And inhale to lengthen through your spine. Maybe an exhale to tip forwards or a gentle rock of the shoulders. Side to side, you might be pointing your toes up towards whatever is above you. Find that inner thigh. And if you are tipping forwards, you can start to lift all the way back up. You can help your left leg come back in next to the right one. Give your knees a squeeze, maybe a rock side to side. And then let's make our way back into tabletop. Onto your hands, onto your knees. Maybe rocking your hips a little bit more before you start to set up your lunge with your left foot coming forwards. Feel free to roll your mat over for your back knee. Just take a moment to notice that right hip. Maybe the entire right leg feels some love. Find your breath. Soften through the hips a little bit more. And just when you get comfy, we're going to move. You can heel toe your foot off to the left side. Turn your toes so they're pointing out on an angle. Let your knee fall out to the side too. Set up your lizard. You can keep your hands on your shoulders. Maybe you will push into the top of your back foot for a moment. Try to lift your knee and then bring it down. Try to keep some weight out of the knee. All the while softening through your hips. And then we can start to move again, walking or heel toeing your foot back to the middle of your mat and then sending the hips back. Maybe trying to drop your toes and the ball of your foot down. See if you can find your shin and your ankle a little bit weird if you haven't done it before, but so sweet if you can find a stretch there. Drop your chest as much as you need to. That also helps feel the love through the leg or bring the love into the leg. And then maybe you will keep your foot where it is or start to point the toes up. Notice how that changes things. Maybe you feel the back of your leg a lot more now. Maybe it all feels the same. We'll just be using an inhale when you're ready for it to bend back into your front knee, back into your lunge, and then you can heel toe your foot off to the right side. Lay your shin down. set up your pigeon. Adjust your front leg as you need. Take an inhale to lift up through the chest, staying here or tipping forwards for a few breaths. Letting your shoulders fall from your ears. Closing your eyes. Using an inhale to lift your upper body. If you're folding forwards, if you can just roll or rock yourself over to the left side and kind of pivot the legs. Hopefully you don't have to turn around like I do, but you can find your half straddle right leg out nice and wide, maybe pointing your toes up, and inhale to reset and lengthen through your spine and maybe tipping forwards a little. A gentle rock of the shoulders might feel good. Maybe you don't need any movement at all to find the inner thigh, the inner leg. Tip forwards as much as you'd like. This feels good for you. You are folding. Let's use an inhale to lift back up. You can bring that right leg in, give your knees a hug, squeeze, maybe a rock side to side. And then we're gonna make our way back into child's pose. So come on over onto your knees again. Bring them out wide, your big toes together, maybe sitting back on your heels first, and then starting to lower your chest, reaching your arms out in front, maybe a little push into your palms. Send your hips back towards your heels as much as you're able. And then take your right arm and slide it underneath your chest. Let your palm face up. You might stay lifted a little bit here, pushing into your left hand, or you might be able to relax completely down, lay on your right arm. Maybe rest your cheek or your forehead. And then using an inhale to lift up just enough so you can take your right arm out, reach it forwards, switching sides, left arm slides under. Let your palm face up if you can. Maybe you stay hovering a little bit, or maybe you're able to melt it down and relax your head and your shoulders. And then using an inhale to lift back up, maybe reaching your left arm out again. Try to push into your palms, send your hips back towards your heels again. You might add a gentle sway, a rock side to side, noticing your hips. And then you can lift back up into tabletop. Bring your knees in, cross your ankles, have a seat for a moment. We are gonna lay down, but if you want to give your knees a squeeze or rock side to side first, you can add that in. And then we can start to lay down if you haven't already. Once you are laying down, you might add a gentle rock of your knees side to side. Giving your low back a massage. Letting your eyes close. Maybe allowing your knees to fall all the way over towards the left side for a twist. Reach your arms out wide if you need to weigh down your shoulders. And using an inhale to lift your knees back up. And let them fall over to the other side. Adjusting your shoulders if needed. And then using an inhale again to lift your legs back up and out of your twist. Maybe you will hug your knees towards your chest or just keep your feet planted. Adding a few rocks side to side if you'd like. And then as you become ready to set up for your Shavasana, and whatever that is going to look like for you today, you can start to make your way there. Find a comfy place to spend just a few moments. Allowing yourself to be still. Completely relaxed. And staying here for as long as you have time for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, namaste.